It's the Michigan State, Ohio State, the way we play each other over the past few years, it's always been that tough, kind of hard-nosed type of game. I think it's special because it's two of the best teams in the Big Ten. It's two of the teams that are always competing to get to that next spot in the Big Ten championship. We're playing away. You know, it's going to be a big. We know, the whole team knows what it's going to take. We know it's going to be a big game, so that's why we're preparing the way we are.
Somebody asked me, you know, where does Michigan State rank in terms of rivals? Obviously, Michigan's #1. I said probably tied with Penn State. So is that accurate?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah.
So this will be your first time actually getting to play in East Lansing, correct?
Yes, it will.
Because you're a true sophomore, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what have you heard about playing there? And, you know, some of the older guys that have played there, what are you expecting about playing up there?
I just know it's going to be a fight. I don't know much about it. I haven't really talked about it. Yeah, it will be my first time, but I just know it's going to be a fight. They're loving the weather it's supposed to be down there. It's a downhill football team, and that's what they like about it. They know that they're going to try to hit us in the mouth, and we got to respond in the correct way.
What do you think the punt Keandre blocked? What do you think that does for his confidence and helping him get on the field more?
I think it does a lot. Keandre's a great player. That punt was designed for that. Actually, he wasn't supposed to block the punt, but coach preaches that everybody's got to run to that block spot, and somebody's going to block the punt. And one of the guys blocked the guy that was supposed to, and he was the guy that didn't get blocked, and he was right there. But yes, of course, it's going to boost his confidence, and he did the right thing and didn't take any false steps and made a great play.
You're one of a handful of guys from 2018 or 17 recruiting class that have really, you know, starting or making a real impact. What's the level of, I don't know if frustration is the word, or contentness with the way your class has developed?
Level
of the way your class, the guys you came in with, the amount of playing time, the production that you've had, how would you kind of assess that?
I think it's pretty cool. Coming with all the guys that we're improving a lot, especially from the coaches saying how much of an impact our class is doing. I just think it's being close friends with all these guys and going through all battles and mat drills and all that type of things with these guys, and seeing them come out in the field with you, saying it's our class, what we say. It's a pretty good feeling.
When you get the sense that, like with Brendan last week and other guys, that you're really starting to take off? I think,
yeah, and I think that other guys in our class are realizing, seeing other guys compete, they're like, wow, well, I want to do that. And I think Brendan had that the mentality as far as going into that week. He really wanted to step out and do something special, and he did. Great game, and I think that it makes us feel good in the future, seeing that what our class is doing right now, how we're going to do in the following years.
Do you think that kind of gives players confidence that maybe if they're not playing as much as they want right now, that, hey, here's a guy, he got his opportunity, and he was able to seize it?
Exactly, yeah. I would think it does a lot. It helped the confidence, especially going into next year. Having that one game that you kind of played with and knowing it was a really good game, especially going into next year, I think it really does boost the confidence.
You were asked about Keandre's punt block. Just what have you seen from him in practice at linebacker, and how much is he kind of pushing to contribute in that rotation?
We have him going around different spots right now, so he's having to force to learn a few different positions, but he's doing a great job. He's one of those guys that whatever the coach asks for him, he's going to do it, and he's going to do it as hard as he can. So Keandre, yeah, he's just a big effort guy, knows his stuff, and really gives it all he's got every play.
What does he kind of bring to your room as being a veteran guy? Are there certain qualities that stand out about him?
He's a big energy guy. He's kind of a funny guy, actually, but just the guy that leads by example. When I came here, saw the way he worked. That's kind of the way I wanted to do it. That being that bigger, the older leader, you just see how he works, and you're just like, wow, like I like that. Like that's how I think this program should be, how it should operate, and that's how I'm going to go.
Pete, there was something that Coach Shiano talked about like during the bye week about like tackling practices, and there being like this rugby-style tackling that was implemented back a few years ago by former defensive coordinator Chris Ash, and then when Greg came in, he kind of went away from that. Are you familiar with this rugby-style tackling technique? And is this something that indeed, if it existed, Coach kind of went away from, or?
I'd never heard really about the rugby. I wasn't here with Coach Ash, so I wouldn't really know about it. I just came here with Coach Shiano's rules of our deductive tackling system and how it's below the waist. And yeah, we emphasized tackling a lot, although we didn't have the best tackling game for the Nebraska game. But we've changed a few things in practice to help out with tackling, so we're continuing to emphasize that.
What kind of changes have been made as far as your techniques are concerned?
Going into scout work, really wrapping up the running back and driving him back instead of just holding him up, being explosive and not just letting him go by. We're really grabbing him up, using the right form, and taking him back a few yards.
When it comes to you personally and your technique, what do you key on when you're trying to get somebody in open space, or trying to run down somebody along the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, well, it really depends if he's running laterally or if it's open field straight up. But I really try to stay low, read the near hip, and try not to reach and stay high. That's kind of what I've been doing. I need to stay away from that. Is reaching and staying high. I need to stay low and tack the near hip.
So Coach Shiano had talked a lot about that after Purdue, whatever the number of missed tackles in that game, and then if it still wasn't exactly where you guys wanted it in Nebraska, I mean, is it just sometimes like you just have a bad day, or did you guys feel as a team like there's something going on here, there's a trend that we need to adjust?
I do think that a little bit. There's a little trend that we're kind of, it's kind of hard to say. We're not using our proper technique like we did at the start. We need to focus more on that. Guys are running out there, including myself, just using a lot of upper body, not getting low, and that might be the end of the season, whatever, you never know. But just we need to focus on our techniques that we learned from the start, and emphasize like we did last week and continue to go as we go on.
Do you go back, do you watch like film from the first month and say like, hey, look how good we were here, let's get back to that? Like, is that part of it, or how do you study yourself when you do that?
We study a lot in practice, and we continue to go over our technique, and we have to build upon that and just keep getting reps, especially in practice.
Last question.
Draymond said that the mood of the defense has improved because the health of the defense has improved. Is there any truth to that? And if so, how can that show up on a Saturday?
I think he's right about that. The mood has changed. You can see it in these past two practices. Guys making plays, we're flying around, and I think that will help for the game. This team, we struggled a lot a few weeks ago with energy. Guys making plays but not showing energy to the ball. And we need to start doing that. We need to start coming together as a defense, kind of uniting together and having energy when people make plays and kind of going around there and have a little swagger to the defense like coaches mentioned.